Now in this chapter, we are going to have an idea about what is an operating system. Earlier, we have taken one explanation that operating system is the very first software that is used in your computer, and after that only we can use other applications or softwares if operating system is present on your computer. So there are some tasks. For example, CPU, we all know that it is responsible for arithmetic and logical operations. Then memory unit is there, then control unit is there, but still there are lot more basic tasks that CPU can't do. Okay, so these basic tasks are done through operating system. So for example, CPU gets input from input devices, and CPU needs instructions for any processing, and these instructions are software. For example, if we are using Microsoft Word or Excel, whatever, so that software's instructions are already stored in your hard disk. So CPU is getting that instructions from there, and then CPU is sending the output on monitor. So here CPU is not responsible for the working of input and output devices as well as storing of those instructions software that you use. So from where to get output and from where to send it, and then for input also and output also, all this data, how it is going on and where to pass that data, and how to allocate resources, like for example memory resource, that is primary memory and secondary memory, that is also taken care by this operating system. So let's see this. This is definition of operating system. So an operating system is controller, resource allocator, and common service provider for a computer system. So here you can see these three words here: controller, resource allocator, and common service provider. Okay, so these three basic tasks are there for operating system. So as I have said earlier, it controls all operations, input, output, processing, and everything. So that is controller. Resource allocator, for example, for which process how much space has to be allocated, and whenever we stop execution of any task at that time, how to free up that memory, that is resource allocation. Now let's see right now which processes are going inside my computer. Okay, so you can see this. Even if I am using 3 or 4 softwares, you can see here in my taskbar there are 3 or 4 windows only which are open, but still how many processes are going on? These 6 are which I am using directly. Okay, this 6, and there are 51 background processes. So you can see that CPU is used how much in this process. Then memory, that is primary memory, is used how much for this process. Likewise, okay, disk, that is your hard disk. Okay, then networking is there. This is another allocation. So all these are managed by operating system, because even if I have not started all these things, when I boot up my computer, all these necessary services are started automatically by computer system. And when all these are on, after that, whatever I have opened, for example Acrobat Reader or Zoom or Google Chrome, okay, so when I have started this, before that, when computer was ready to work on, okay, that process is called booting process. And this booting process, in this booting process, operating system start all these necessary files for background processes. And here there are so many things that you can see. Okay, so sometimes when we want to check which process is taking more memory, and we are not able to use our computer with proper speed, at that time we can terminate any process that is not required and still open. For example, when I right click on this and click on end task, at that time this process will stop and that much memory will get freed. okay, from here, and my computer can allocate that memory to other process which I am going to do. So these are other examples. Okay, then startup processes. Okay, here the user who is active right now, and what that user is using, which services. Then details. Okay, these are details about different. See here .exe. So all these are exe, that is executable files. So these are programs which are open. So in Windows environment, exe is executable program. Then different services are there. These are open in my computer, which are open, which are stopped, that you can see here. So all these things are being taken care by that operating